Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon, where I am. Appreciate you guys joining. And yeah, so the topic of the day is that Microsoft announced that they're going to be officially supporting VR in the fall, sometime around the time when the HP Reverb G2 comes out. And we're going to talk about that. And I appreciate you guys joining. I just want to get the plane in the air. Today we're flying the TorqueSim SR22 G3. Just came out recently, an amazingly modeled plane. I gotta be honest, this plane has reignited my interest in in flying different planes. I don't get me wrong, I've been flying all along. I just haven't been streaming a lot, as you guys know. But this plane, for those of you who know, I love SR22. It's the GA plane that I fell in love with, and if I ever got my pilot's license, I would want to fly one for sure. But this, and I had this SR20, Carenado SR22. This thing is a leapfrog from those. In any event, I'm very, 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 very excited to think about it a lot. I fly it a lot. It's awesome. So we're going to be flying that one today. Mayday. How you doing today, Colin? How you doing? Timo, thanks for joining. Yeah, so let's talk about the horrendous stutters in MS 2020. I don't know. I can't speak for that. I haven't flown it. I'm not an alpha tester or a beta tester. Maybe you are, Mayday. I haven't flown it. Colin, you hope that Oculus is supported. My understanding is that there's a plan to support other headsets down the road, but the first one they're going to be supporting is the Reverb, because it's under Microsoft platform, and probably the APIs are a lot easier for them to develop than Oculus, right? That's probably the reason why. Yeah, it is a great plane, Timo, for sure. I'm impressed as well. It's just a lovely, lovely aircraft. It's awesome. Oh yeah. So look at it. It's just beautiful. Yeah, I was thinking about actually painting a livery for the VR Aviation group. Paul, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Flight Simulator George, thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it. Good to see everybody in the chat here. So we're gonna get this thing started up, and then we'll do some talking in the air here. So let's get inside the cockpit here. Cold and dark. And well, I tell you what, before we do that, let's just go over where we're gonna fly. So pretty simple flight today. We're flying from let's see, that's not the window I want to show. That's the chat window. Okay. All right. So there you go. So we're going to be flying from Roanoke, which is an airport that our VR Aviation FS Economy group owns. And we're going to be flying to Crew Municipal. It's 187 nautical miles to IGEDE. And a pretty easy flight. We'll start at 4,000 and then descend down into about 2,000, actually at 1,500 to pick up flight level above at the airport there. So anyway, that's going to be where we're going to be flying. We've got 3 passengers today via FS Economy. Yeah, the cow is Milkshake. It's Milkshake. Milkshake the cow. Basically, Milkshake is, oh, dude, I'm sorry about that. For some reason, your message got deleted. Let me just, I don't know why. Oh, maybe because you use capitals. That's why, dude. Yeah, I have to modify that. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can post that. I'm going to cut and paste it. See if it lets me do it, which it should. Better not time me out. There you go. That's what he said. Anyway, so let's, without further ado, let's get this plane cranked up and started. So I'm an Oculus Rift, where you get the keys in the ignition. Okay. And what I do here is I set up a key to switch between, so that I can use the VR mouse, because it's really helpful to use the VR mouse when starting up. So we're going to put battery 1 on. And I'm following the procedures by a guy by the name of Tim Morgan. He's got a YouTube channel. He's a real world Cirrus SR22 flyer. Check him out on YouTube. He's got a couple of great videos where he goes over some specifics and how it compares to the real world. But he always turns on battery 1. He makes sure that the battery 2, sorry, he makes sure battery 1 has enough voltage, okay, before he turns it on, which it is, because battery 2, I guess, is a backup battery. So now we're going to turn on battery 2, and this alarm comes on, which doesn't go off quickly. Let me get you guys in here. Get you guys to chat in here. Here we go. Why won't it let me do that? Oh, I know it, because of stupid mouse. Best quality. Okay. That's not what I wanted. What? That's weird. Alright, let me turn off the mouse. Mouse is off. Best quality. Move to VR. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so now we can turn this alarm off. Can't we? No? Let's get this off. Okay. And we're going to get mixture full. We're going to put boost. Now, some say you need to prime the engine. This is the naturally aspirated engine. So some say you need to prime it if it's cold out. Some say you just need to boost it. So I'm just going to try boosting it today. And throttle at 25%. And move you guys over here. Thank you. Turn that damn alert off. Alright, so now, with a little luck here, we should be able to start this baby up. Let's just see if we can do that. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to prime it. Come on. Come on. Okay. Let's put this to off. Put you guys over there. And we're going to put throttle full. Give me that mouse again. Put throttle full. And we're going to go prime 1, 2, 3. Get it to boost. Throttle back to 25%. And let's see if we can... Ooh, why isn't that working there? Come on. It's a pain in the ass to start this thing. Yeah, if I... Oh. What happens is, what I do is I cycle the throttle between full... There we go. I think they need to probably make it a little easier to start. We're going to ramp it back to 1,000 RPM. I'm not going to go through checklists today, because I want to get in the air here. Okay, 1000 RPM. And we're going to get our alternators on. Avionics, nav, strobe, nav, strobe, okay? And put you guys over here so I can see the chat easier. Full mixture throttle then set to boost. Oh. You play with the mixture while you start it. Okay. Yeah, it is. And I normally do that, but I kind of want to get in the plane here. So I have been using the checklists for you know, as I use it. So anyway, we're gonna let this thing warm up here now. So let's see. We got it on boost. Oh. Well, I tell you what. Let's get our checklists. So we can go to. I like to have the lights on a little bit here. So we're gonna go to down to this. I'm gonna skip forward. This is a pain in the neck. I wish I could just. Come on. Go to pre-flight. Come on. All right, before takeoff. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. I want to catch up on chat here while this is warming up. Stephen Dory's channel. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. I just want to get into the air, George. We're going to be talking about MFS and Microsoft Flight Simulator VR. We're going to be talking about that. All right, so you know what? Let's put the checklist away. Let's get our flight plan in. I actually have it already loaded up, so we're going to save a little bit of time here. So I'm going to go to get the cursor, and we can scroll down to Roanoke. I got a bunch of these in here. There we're going to W81. We're going to hit enter. And let's look at the flight plan. Oops, flight plan. And we're going to IGEDE, and then we're going to go to crew. So we're going to fly at 4,000. So let's set that up here. 4,000. And we want to turn our nav on. We want to turn our vertical on. And we want to get our vertical speed. We'll climb at 600, should be fine. Yeah, you can. What you do is I load them into a folder, and then you can basically pull them in. It's so much easier. There's a utility that I use. It's called. I'm not sure if it's still available. Let me tell you what it's called. Give me a second here, guys. It is called FPL2FMS. I think you can find it on Xplane.org, and I'm pretty sure I did a video on it, so check my YouTube channel. I think I did a video on how to use it, so you might want to check that out. All right, so let's see. Flight plan in, altitude set. I think we're ready to go, right? Yeah, it's so much, especially for FS economy. Like I fly a lot of the same flights all the time, you know, so it makes so much more sense. So what we can do here is, let me just range down so I can see where the hell I am. Why doesn't it show? Where am I? Oh, I'm the little white plane there. All right, so I want to Just going to taxi to any runway. We're not worried about weather today. Just want to get in the air and talk, right? So let's see. We're going to... I guess I got to spin this puppy around, right? All right, here we go. Which I knew where the hell I was going. We'll figure it out. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to figure out where the hell I'm going here. All right, runway's right there, so we're heading east, so. Starting to get used to the steering. Tap the brakes to turn the plane. Oh yeah, the SR20. I'm so tired. I mean, listen, it's a nice plane, the SR20. Okay. But it's got some major flaws. The G1000 is just not, not great. Laminars is so much better, for navigation. I like the way the plane flies, but I had a lot of fun in it. It's just the G1000 in that B-Flight airplane is just unusable, Yeah, Laminars is great. Laminars is great. All right, we're going to exclude the run-up guys here. We're going to assume that everything's okay. All right. I hope I don't have a problem in flight, but I want to get into the air here. All right, so we're at the tip here, the runway. Get ourselves lined up. Once in a while, I get a little bit of frame delay here. You can see right now, we're just going through a little frame delay there, and I think that's just the maybe scenery loading or something. So let's keep it at 1,000 RPM. Let's zoom our range out so we can see where the hell we are. Okay. All right, so we all checked out here, right? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Well, let's assume our caps are okay. Flaps set to 50%. Full throttle. Let's release those brakes, and we're off and running. 75, I believe, is the speed to rotate. Come up there pretty quick, and we go 65, 75, and rotate. And we're in the air. Flaps coming up. Yes, Timo, I'm definitely using Vulcan, for sure. Flaps coming up. Clear the airport. Let's have a look back. The airport there. Oh, we get a little frame delay there. Not sure why. It's maybe because I got a lot of screens open on my PC. All right, back in the plane. And let's get the... Oh, what the heck did I do? Oil pressure? I was getting an oil pressure Light. Low pressure looks fine. Here's what I found here. Sometimes your engine... Wow, I'm really stuttering here. I have to close down a window or two here, I think. Here's what I found. That sometimes you see I don't have the engine option on the MFD. So you see this red button here, it's the display backup. If you click that twice, then the engine screen comes back. I don't know why. Just a little bit of a bug, I guess, that they have to correct here. So, all right, let's get to flying the plane. So we need to get our mouse here so I can switch. Oops. So I could switch tanks. Want the boost on. Plane is turn okay here. I'm taking my eye off the sky for a second while I... Come on. Alright, switch tanks. And we're coming up to 2700. Looks like we'll be fine. We want to trim this down now a little bit. Want to be running about 15, 16 gallons and about 2,500 RPM. Plenty of climb power there, so save a little fuel. And looks like everything's looking good. Got to trim back to almost a T, between the X and the T. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's natural though. Like, I was, again, check out that dude Tim Morgan, his YouTube channel. He was saying that I think that's natural that it drops when you take the flaps off. Yeah, I don't know why I had that low oil pressure. I'm looking at it and it's fine. Not sure. It's actually a 10 LSS. I think it's 1080 and up. I have a Ti, so I think it's recommended. I'm not sure. Well, let me see. We could pull that up in a second. Yeah, I brought the mixture back. Yep, I totally agree. I'm probably looking at a new PC within the next year or two. So anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Let me check. No, not on this flight. I'm not going to be high enough. I'm just going to be at 4,000. So, but I want to just check here before I take my headset off. We're cruising at 4,000. We got 16 gallons per hour, which is good. Everything's in the green. The EGT is about 1530. That's a little high. I guess it should be around 1500, somewhere around between 14 and 1600, I think. So I think we're okay there. So we'll keep it at about 70%, 2500 RPM, and we'll be flying at about 155 knots, 164 grams. So should be good there. Let me look up the HP. Here, let's look that up here, guys, because I got a question about that myself. Let's take this up here. All right, so let's see. Let's go to HP. Sorry, HP Reverb G2, and let's look at the recommendations. Quick specs. let's see. Key features in the box. Recommended workstation. 1080. Consumers recommended is a 1080. But you can run half resolution on a 1060, 1066, 1060 Ti, and 1070. So you don't, if you run, it's basically the recommendation for full resolution, which obviously you're going to want to do, you know. Yeah, so I'll be on 1080 Ti to start. Yeah, and it's DirectX 12 compatible graphics. Yeah, so here's the typical consumer at half a resolution, right? Yeah, I haven't had a chance, LSS, to digest all of the content around Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. And guess what? I forgot to turn on FS Economy. You know what? So we're just gonna fly without FS Economy. Sorry, forgot to turn it on. That was my checklist thing that I forgot to turn on. Right. So let's talk about VR in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I think it's great that they announced it. It's troubleful to some that it's going to be the reverb only. It excludes a lot of VR users, right? Myself included, until I get a reverb, which I'm planning on doing. I was planning on doing anyway. So, you know, that's a barrier to entry. But, you know, I think when you look at it from their perspective, right? Yeah, I need a FS Economy checklist. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd get a Rift, George. I'm not sure I'd get a Rift. I'm not sure. First of all, I have my issues with Facebook as a company. Okay. And they own Oculus, so that's number one. Number two, Rift S is not going to be comparable to the Reverb G3. And the Reverb G3 is only $600 for everything. I don't know. In any event, so let's talk about Flight Simulator and in VR. So, great, cool announcement. I'm sure disappointing to some that it's not gonna. It's gonna be supporting the Reverb G2 at first. But you know, it's, when thinking about it from a development perspective, it's Microsoft's platform, so it's probably a lot easier for them, you know, with DirectX and all that, and the APIs to develop to that. And they probably wanted to be able to address the VR question right away. So I could see the logic in it. Okay, I'm not sure why they wouldn't support other Microsoft VR platforms, but in any event, maybe they've got some marketing deal with HP. I don't know. But in any event, it's good news that they're going to be supporting VR. Hey Fabian, how you doing? Resolution is not as good as the Reverb, but is solid for gaming. I think the resolution for the Reverb G2 is better than the Rift S, dude. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Talk about the Generation 2, which isn't available yet. Not the first generation one, which is available, the Reverb. In any event, so excited about that. You know, I got to be honest with you. I've been thinking, you know, I'm an X-Plane guy, okay? I'm an X-Plane guy. I like X-Plane a lot. I've put, you know, hundreds, maybe maybe thousands of hours in X-Plane. X-Plane VR has come a long way. It really has. You consider where we were when they first came out with native, and when we were dealing with fly inside and all that stuff. It's come a long way, right? But you know, when, as a flight simulator person for, for decades, like you guys, you were always looking at the advancement. And when you look at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I watched a video from Squirrel today, which he produced on his computer, and I know he's not going to BS people. He's a pretty straight shooting guy. The graphics just look unbelievable. The detail looks unbelievable. Now, I know they're probably showing a lot of the higher detailed airports, but even just the cities and stuff look just amazing. And, like you guys probably have, I've imagined in my mind's eye flying in that environment with that new groundbreaking scenery in VR. And what it must be like compared to looking at ortho in X-Plane 11. It's got to be amazing, right? You got to believe that it's amazing. So that's one thing. You really want that experience of the groundbreaking graphics in VR, right? Because let's face it, I said this a long time ago, when we first started getting into VR, maybe 3 years ago, whatever it is. The holy grail is real world vision in VR, right? That's the holy grail. Being able to be in a plane and look out and be able to see the ground in front of you as if it was you were the same as if you were in a real plane, right? And I think the EVGA G2 with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 gets much, much closer to that than we've been used to in X-Plane. Let's face it, X-Plane's been around for what? 15 years? I think maybe 12, 15 years. The graphics really haven't changed, right? Certainly their default graphics are, they're really pretty bad, right? Everyone upgrades the graphics either to Orbix or they put ortho or something. The default graphics are awful, right? When you look at Flight Simulator 2020, now we've got a package for, let's just go with the premium package, which is $120, right? For $120, you're going to get superb graphics all around the world, with the ability to add on third-party for certain airports as they come available, but you're going to get 40 airports that are done in complete, absolute detail. Now, I haven't seen what the airports look like that aren't in detail, but I'm thinking $120, you're getting like 40 airplanes, you're getting 40 detailed airports, you're getting worldwide beautiful graphics, compared to what it costs you for X-Plane. Now, I've already spent my money on X-Plane, right? But someone coming into it new, or fairly new, where are they going to spend their money, right? They're going to spend their money, especially if they're not, I was on our Facebook group, the VR Aviators Facebook group, we were talking about, no, I agree that the X-Plane's default graphics are better than FSX, but FSX is 20 years old, or 15 years old. X-Plane was an advancement over that, but it's not an advancement anymore. It's just not, right? And Laminar never really did anything to improve the landscape graphics. The first thing they've done is Vulkan, right? And Vulkan helps them. Yeah, it has, because you're seeing a lot more videos now, George. So that attraction, the thing, you got to think about what attracts people. And I think what really attracts people are the visuals, putting yourself in a situation where it's immersive to the point where you feel like you're in a real environment. And we know VR helps us do that, because you got 3D and all that. But just imagine if you're using high definition VR headset in an unbelievably detailed graphic environment, what it's going to look like, right? So, software companies are always selling the dream, right? They're always selling the dream. They're always they're always telling you how great it's going to be, and that's I'm in the software business, so I know what that's all about. You know, you have your current release, and you're always telling people how great it's going to be, and people imagine how great it's going to be. I'm imagining how great it's going to be for Flight Simulator 2020 with VR, right? But it's not coming to the fall, and I got to spend a little money to get there. I got to buy a new headset, and I got to spend $120 on a new flight simulator. I may have to buy a new SSD because I'm not sure if I'll have room for it. Good news is I can sell my Oculus Rift in piece parts and pretty much get almost what I need to buy the Reverb, which is actually pretty good news. But it's still going to be a process to switch over, you know. So, but you know, I had tick marks with Flight Simulator 2020 when, you know, 6-7 months ago when we knew nothing about it. Okay. And my tick marks were: flight modeling has to be as good as X-Plane. It's got to have real-world navigation. It's got to have real-world communications, right? And it's got to have, you know, the planes that I like, right? Well, it's got the planes that I like. It's got an SR22. It's got a Diamond 62. It's got the Baron. It's got the Cessna 172. It's got the Icon. All kinds of planes. Great, cool GA planes, right? VATSIM and Pilot Edge have both committed that they're going to support it, so that means it's got real-world comms, right? I've seen videos and read posts about GPS and their G1000 implementation, and that works. Okay. So the only thing I haven't experienced, you know, if I trust all that, the two things that I haven't really experienced are how it's going to perform on my computer, which is important, you know, and what the flight modeling is like, what it's like to actually fly Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in VR. That's a complete unknown to me. Now, what's going to happen is, you know, folks on our VR Aviators group on Facebook are going to be out ahead of the curve, especially those that already have reverbs, the G2. Some of them are beta testing the G2. They're going to be coming out and giving us some really good information. That's why it's really good to join our Facebook group, VR Aviators, because you'll get some good. I'm pretty sure you're going to get some very good early feedback, which is important, right? So that's going to be important to me, so I get an understanding. And if those last tick marks, performance of the PC, running on the PC in VR, and the flight modeling are good, then I'm probably gonna jump in. Now, I guess there's another piece of it is the plane modeling. So, like, let's take for example this plane here, the TorqueSim SR22. Most will tell you, I was watching John Fly's stream last night. Citation Max streamed it on Twitch. This guy, Tim Morgan on YouTube. He's a pilot who flew the thing just like Max did, and they all say that the modeling is superb compared to the real thing. That's something that X-Plane allows developers to do. I'm hoping that same modeling is available to developers who are going to be developing for FS 2020. I can't understand why it wouldn't be, right? Can't understand why it wouldn't be, because it would make total sense, right? So if that's tick mark is ticked, then it's going to be very difficult not to make FS 2020 a primary sim for me personally. Let's see, Phil, note that the planes you mentioned are default planes. Exactly. Well, that's not what I've heard. Have you flown it, Phil? Because I've heard that they're pretty amazing. That's what I've heard. Well, I can't fly it on. I don't have Xbox, so I don't really want to test it on Xbox. I want to test it on a PC, George. It stutters quite a bit on monitor. Okay, well, and you have a pretty good configuration. ATC is good. They have the option to add real-world flights. Made a video of cockpits recently. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess time, like I said, time will tell. You know, time will tell. We're gonna, you know, there's always a big difference between marketing and reality, as you guys know, right? Oh, Game Pass for PC. Okay. Interesting. Try it for £1. All right. Well, problem is I can't try it in VR yet. That's the problem. Who cares more about Dead Stick? Dead Stick? Standard version. Well, maybe, I mean, maybe I'll do that. Shane, I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. No, I haven't heard of Dead Stick. I'm sorry. Mayday, you've got a 2080 Ti and 64 gig and it's stuttering? Seriously, dude? Let's check on where we are here. All right, we got 24 miles. Let me get my flight plan up here. Everything looking good. Everything's looking good. Check the engine. All is well. Well, what version are you running, Shane? Are you running the beta version, or are you running the the full release version? Wow, really? Because I'm hearing that. Wow, because I was watching a video of Squirrel's video. Maybe it's a configuration issue or something, because I know Squirrel's got a pretty beefy PC like you, and he doesn't have any issues. What's your internet speed? Yeah, what's your internet speed? Mayday. All right, so I'm going to change the subject a little bit. See how I have clouds turned on, right? Like I've up in the sky there, we got some cumulus, nimbus, and cirrus clouds, or cumulus and I should say cumulus and cirrus clouds. Well, I was finally able to turn clouds on an X-plane, because before this, they would always have a flicker in the ground shadow of the clouds. The shadows would flicker, and I couldn't take it. It would basically drive me insane. One of the beta releases, the last few beta releases, I don't know which one it was, the clouds no longer flicker. It's wonderful. So now I could fly with clouds. It's great. No, I don't mean what full version. I mean, are you using a beta version of... Which specific version, Shane, are you using? Sorry, let me get a drink here, guys. Yeah, you need to know what version you're running. Yeah, so check out Squirrel. You know, you guys probably know who Squirrel is. He's a pretty famous YouTuber and Twitch dude. Check out his channel. He just put, and I put it in the VR Aviators group. Check it out. It's a really good video. He talks about his experience. I'm sure he was an alpha and beta tester. Now he's talking a little bit about it, which is kind of cool. All right, I'm going to get my my altitude down here. We're going to go down to 1800. So we're just above pattern altitude. Vertical speed, and we're going to go down at 500 feet per minute. We'll just cut back on the speed a little bit here so we don't go too fast. Yeah, dude, Mayday, I mean, I don't know anything about FS 2020, so I can't give you I can't do any troubleshooting for you, but it seems crazy with you got 120 megabit internet speed, you got like a cranking computer. I'm not sure, man. Oh, George, I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming on the 19th, but well, happy forward birthday to you. I mean, chances are I could be, but if I'm not, happy birthday to you. There you go, Shane. Sometimes it just takes an update. I'm running beta 16 here, guys, just so you guys know. But look at those wonderful cloud shadows. See them out there? See the cloud shadows, how they're not flickering anymore? And now I can have the real experience of having clouds in the sky. Oh, it's so great. I know it doesn't sound like that excites you guys. It's exciting me because ever since I started flying X-Plane in VR, the clouds have been flickering. And finally, after what, 3 years, I guess it is now, they are not flickering, and they're casting a beautiful shadow on the ground where they should be casting a shadow, which is awesome. Okay, well then, sounds like it's an issue. That's what, sounds like it's an issue. I'm sure that, listen, it's a beta, so, not to defend Microsoft, but software has bugs, and I'm sure they're working them all out. Let's check out the outside here, guys. Doesn't that plane look awesome? Doesn't that plane look awesome? I'm sorry, it just looks awesome to me. I hope TorqueSim develops the SR22 for FS 2020. I haven't seen a slider for that. Maybe there is one. When I get on the ground here, we can look. Well, if you buy, I would like to buy one too, man. But you have to pony up about $900,000 to buy one. If you have that kind of money, God bless you. Oh, really? What? They didn't design it from the ground up? You tell me that there's FSX code base in FS 2020. Are you really serious about that? Coming to 1800. Oh, you just blew my high with that, man. I thought it was developed from the ground up. Okay, well, let's hope that they used parts that don't destroy the ability to use modern hardware. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it on eBay. Considered the CV1. Yep. An LSS, a little secret that I'm not telling to many. Okay. If you sell it in piece parts, like sell the cable itself alone, I think sells for like 150 bucks. Okay. Sell the sensors each for like about 60 bucks, something like that. All right, we're gonna have to land here. All right, we're going to full mixture. Let's take control of the aircraft here. We'll talk about that in a second. All right. We got autopilot off. And we want to come down to, we got to get our speed down here. I'm coming in a little hot here, guys. I wanted to skip doing a pattern landing just for the sake of time, because I'm going to fly back now, so we can have a little bit more time chatting. All right, let's put the flaps in at 120. I might get an overspeed, but nope, I didn't get an overspeed. All right, so now we're going to go down to 104, and we can go full flaps at 104. There we go, full flaps. All right, we're going to ease her in here. We got the runway in sight at crew, 500 feet.
500.
Everything looking good. Yeah, no pressure, George. What Tim Morgan said is you want to keep it around 85 because you don't want it. This thing stalls. The stall characteristics are pretty loose on the plane, so you don't want to go close to the stalling speed. You want to have well within the green. So we'll get down to 82 here. We're coming over the fence at 80. We're not on the line here, but that's all right. Throttle down. All right, we'll take that one. Could have been a little bit more in the center, but what can you do? Hear those brakes? The real world flyers say those brakes sound exactly as they do in real life, which is very cool. All right, at crew here we have this little U-turn, which is nice. So we'll take that, slow that down a little bit more. Tap the left brake. A little bit more power. Tap the right brake. It's kind of difficult steering this thing. All right. Still getting the handle on the ground handling. All right, let's get her lined up, and then we'll get the brakes applied. All right, come on. We don't have FS economy on, so. But what we can do. Oh, I guess we can't. So, all right. So we're gonna let's get right back up in the air. So we're gonna go to 4,000 again here. All right, let me just get that going, then we can chat some more. Vertical speed, we'll go 600. Come on, 600. And everything else is good to go. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see me catch up here. Yeah, I would definitely part it out. I have to part mine out because my headphones don't work anymore. So I'm going to sell the headset without the headphones. You know, I'll just break it up, and you can actually, I figured it out. If you break it up, you could probably get between $400 and $500 for it, which is pretty good. That includes the touch controllers. Selling those too. Mayday, take care. Good night. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, George. This is a great plane. This is a great plane. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Just wait till the release and see. They talk about Flight Simulator 2020. Yeah, I came pretty close to the fence. Yeah, I know. I wonder why you talk about the brake tapping and going through the brakes. I wonder why Cirrus designed it that way instead of having, you know, steerable. All right, let's get in the air here. Ready? Everything looking good. Let's go, baby. So this wasn't an FS economy flight, but it was a good chat nonetheless, right? All right. Flaps are up. We're clear the field. Almost clear the field. Let's take a look. Turn left crosswind. I love this plane. This plane is so great. All right, so let's get our computer driving the plane. It'll bring us up to 4,000 back to Roanoke. So here we got our flaps up. We're going to mixture down and throttle down a little bit here. We can climb at 130, 135, 138, something around there. That's fine. It's got plenty of power to climb at that speed. Yeah, seriously, a good chat. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I highly recommend. I think, Paul, you're the one who told me about Tim Morgan's YouTube channel. I think you're the one who told me about that. You left a comment in my channel about that. I'm pretty sure, Phil. So I appreciate that, if that was you. Yeah, so I wonder why am I leaning here? Oh, is that because, because I'm trying to pick up the GPS here? Coming straight now. Let's just see. Well, I appreciate that, Phil. Paul, I should say. That was really, really good. I keep calling you Phil because your last name is Phibbs. I'm not sure if that's your real last name, but in any event, Paul, thank you, because his videos were awesome, especially the one where he goes through the start procedure. Now he was flying the turbo, which I think he flies in real life, but it was really interesting to hear him compare this plane to the real deal. It was pretty cool. All right, let's make sure we're doing okay here as far as the engine goes. All right, everything looking hunky-dory there. It's got this assist capability that you can use to help you trim out or lean out or mix, basically lean out the engine, which is pretty cool. I have to learn how to use that. I was watching John Fly use that, or maybe it was Tim. I think it was Tim. Everyone calls you Phil. But it's Paul. It's because they see the fibs and it's like the Mandela effect, Anyway. So LS, can you explain what those 3 options are to everybody? I'm not familiar with what they are. 3 multiplayer options. That would be interesting to know. So for some reason, oh, I know why. Because we're still climbing. Isn't it cool not to have cloud flicker? Sorry, did I say that again? Group fly, solo fly. So you can fly with multiple people and communicate with them, I guess. Solo fly is you fly within, well, I guess I can look it up. I'll look it up. Do they have an ATC option like FSX did? Remember, you could be the traffic controller like that. You could actually be a traffic controller. Who's that guy on YouTube? Air Force Proud. He does those crazy videos with where he's a traffic controller in FSX. It's pretty funny. So I'm wondering if it has the ATC function where you can actually be in the tower. All right, so we got 4,000. Where are we? Okay, just right there. Boom! Everything went cool there. The EGT is at 1465, RPMs or power at 72% RPM. We need to get that down a little bit, 2,500. So we'll just bring back the throttle a little. Uh-oh. That was weird. I just went to 0 power. Why? That wasn't good. Maybe I just brought the throttle back too low, or maybe I brought the mixture back too low. In any event. Anyway, looks like we're okay. Probably should switch to tank. So let me get my virtual mouse. Come down here. And we can turn that off now. I'm not going to need that anymore. See, way out in the distance there, the mountains that make up the Roanoke area there. All right, let's see, where the hell are we here? And we could run a little hotter here, I guess. We got enough fuel. So anyway, yeah, so that's my thoughts on FS 2020. Everyone's very excited about it. It's something new. They can't wait to get their hands on it. Those that aren't beta testers or alpha testers can't wait to get their hands on it. I will tell you that if you're interested in flying it in VR or flying in general in VR, check out our the VR Aviators group on Facebook, VR Aviators. Check that out. It's a pretty cool group. About 2,300 people in there, and if you want to learn about VR flight, you want to shortcut the learning curve. There's people in there that have been doing it for 3 years and been involved with VR for a long time. So it's some great information that you can gather. So be sure to check that out. Also, if you like what you see today, hit that like button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please do. Hit that notification button, and you'll get an email notification when I'm streaming or when I put up new content and stuff like that. So I've got some things planned. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos on how to, just some tips on FS economy that I've learned over the last couple of years that I wanted to pass on to folks that I thought might be helpful. So I'm working on that right now. And we'll be doing more videos with this. I want to do, I know what I wanted to tell you guys. So in FS economy, I bought an SR22. I bought it somewhere around like St. Louis area. I got a really good deal on it in FS economy for like $210,000. It's got like very low hours on it. And I flew it to Salinas, and I'm going to fly it over the Rockies into the California desert, where I have my own little network there under a different group called Aero VR. It's just a few 2-lot FBOs that I own in the California area. I set it up originally so that I could fly in FS economy in Pilot Edge, and I'm working on building the network there. So in any event, I bought this SR22, and I'm going to be flying it from Salinas to Yucca Valley, which is the airport that I own, L22, and it's going to be probably 3 or maybe 4 different legs. So I'm going to be streaming that. So cross-country adventure in the SR22, and for those I plan on doing like the complete checklist and basically doing it the right way. All right, so that's probably going to start this weekend, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about FS 2020 and the TorqueSim SR22 and all the other stuff that we're all interested in. So look for that. All right. I wonder if you can grab milkshake. No, that would be cool if they let you grab milkshake. Just let you toggle milkshake. Also, you can't I haven't found a way to remove the tablet, the Av tab, from its holder. It's permanently installed there for some reason, which is weird. Anyway, I'm going to close down a couple of windows here because I'm getting some pretty shitty frame rates for some reason. All right. So yeah, look for those cross-country trips, and I'm looking forward to that. Keto, no carb. All right, good for you, man. 12 pounds in 2 weeks. Wow. So did you just start it 2 weeks ago? That's a lot of weight to lose in 2 weeks. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a great thing, but you got to be careful, right? Okay, so probably some of that is water weight, which is fine. Because what happens, I think, is when I started, I go through these. You go through these phases. I call them whoosh phases. Okay, where all of a sudden you'll just lose like 4 pounds, and it's because your body is like expelling liquid and stuff. Because there's, basically the way you lose weight is there's 2 ways you lose weight: through urination, okay, and the other way is through when you breathe. So when you breathe out, you're breathing out carbon dioxide, and that is although each breath is a minute amount of weight, add up 10,000 breaths and it equals a pound or whatever. I don't know what the number is. I'm just making something up. But those are really the 2 ways you lose weight. Basically urination and breathing out carbon dioxide. Now, probably sweating too is another way. But that's the way, right? But the good news is that once you get all that whoosh stuff out, and if you keep it up, then you're basically like a oven, right? You're like a fire pit, and you just keep burning. But make sure you drink a lot of water on that keto diet. You got to have a lot of water. Got to have a lot of water. I never did the full keto. What I did was what I do now is I cut out sugar, I cut out flour, except once a week I have pasta. Okay, just once a week, and maybe not every week, but I like to have pasta at least once every 10 days. Not a lot, but I have pasta, and my logic behind that is that it's okay to mix it up a little bit. And we buy pastas that are made in Italy, and I trust their flour more than I trust flour from the United States, although as far as I know, maybe the flour that they use comes from the United States, who knows. But I have this thing in my mind about Monsanto flour and Monsanto corn, which I think are genetically modified and not great for you, but in any event. Yeah, so I mean, listen, if you lose 2 pounds a week, that's awesome, right? If you can lose 2 pounds a week, that's really awesome. Congratulations, man. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, so I'm getting back on the stick with my shake. If you want to hear what my shake is, I don't do it every day now. I do it every other day. So the shake is a scoop of protein powder, and I use what's it called? Garden of something. I buy it on Amazon. It's a good company. It's a non-GMO shake, or I should say protein powder. So it's vanilla, 1 scoop of that. I have a tablespoon of chia seeds, a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. That's the one you want to use, Ceylon cinnamon. The other cinnamon's not good for you. It can be toxic. Ceylon cinnamon. I have a teaspoon of MCT oil. I have a teaspoon of avocado oil. And then I have this green thing that I use. It's from this garden company too. It's basically concentrated green, so I put that in. And then I don't put any milk. It's just water and ice. Sometimes I'll put some blueberries in there or strawberries. Those are the only fruits I put in. No bananas, just strawberries and blueberries I'll put in. Just like maybe a handful, not a lot, right? And did I get it? Oh, I also use this powder from mushrooms. It's by this guy Paul Stamets, and it's got this. It's called Stamets 7, which it's got this. The essence of these mushrooms that help with the immune system. You get the shakes when you smell a pizza. Yeah, me too, man. But in any event, so that's kind of my shake, and it just it's a good thing to have every couple of days because it keeps you clean, and it's good for you. And you got to take a good multivitamin. You should take. I take vitamin D because I'm vitamin D deficient, which most people are. So it's good to take maybe vitamin D and turmeric. I take that, a turmeric pill, and I take a fish oil pill. There you go, Jasper. Cholera algae? What is that? Cholera. I guess that's pronounced chlorella. I haven't heard of that. I'll have to look at that. So, but I figured out that my shake cost me like $10 a shake. So at one point I was having like 2 shakes a day. I was like, that's a lot of money for, like, you know, eating at home. So I'm cutting it down, mixing in salads, mixing in, you know, good protein, you know, detox mostly, yeah. So in any event, yeah, so I tell you what, you know, after you have a couple of days of shakes, it really does help you feel good. Well, I do that too. Go for a walk outside in the sunshine, get your vitamin D and fresh air. That's absolutely important too, Paul, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. But yeah, well, good luck to you, LSS. That's really good news to hear, and keep up the good work. That's awesome. All right, we definitely have those mountains in sight now with those wonderful clouds that aren't flickering. It's awesome. Yeah, for some reason I'm getting frame rate issues here today. Not issues, but it's not as good as it has been. And it may be because I'm streaming on the same PC and I got 4 different windows open. That could be it, you know. 32 miles, 13 minutes. And we'll be good to go. 161, pretty nice speed. Let's go outside here. Oops, sorry. The prettiest GA plane ever designed, in my humble opinion. I remember the first time I saw someone fly it, I think it was Citation Max. I was watching one of his videos. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was Nico's Wings. I don't know if you watched Nico's Wings. I forget who it was, but I saw it was either Max or Nico's Wings. And they were flying the SR22. Oh no, that's not the Rocky Mountains. These are the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. We're on the East Coast. But if you tune in soon, I'm going to be streaming. I mentioned this before. We're doing a cross-country trip from Salinas to Yucca Valley. It's going to be I think I'm going to do it in 3 or 4 different sessions. And I'll be crossing the Rockies. Although I'm not going to be going like, I wasn't planning on doing like a 15,000 feet, or maybe I will do that now. We'll see. But going to be flying an SR22 that I bought in FS Economy, and I figured we'd stream that. Be kind of cool. So, flew this plane in VATSIM using XPilot the other day, and he kept wanting to disconnect me because it didn't like my frame rates dropping it below 20. Even though my experience in the sim was fine. Yeah, let's see where we are here. Oops, I don't want to go outside the plane, but that's going to happen here. Let's see where we are here. We'll go to fly with Lua, macros, OVR settings. Yeah, we're getting 21, 23, 24. You know, maybe I can reduce my super sampling. Might help a little bit. $25, $24, $26. So yeah, I've been meaning to set up VATSIM. I haven't used Pilot Edge in a long time, so I'm thinking about going back into that too. Like I said, this plane here has reignited my my interest in flight simming. Not that I haven't been flying, I have been flying, but not like I used to, you know. There was a time there when I would fly every day and stream all the time and make videos all the time, and it was all consuming, and this plane has kind of reignited that. Yeah, so here's the thing, George, it's not the GPU. I could tell you right now, I'm running a 1080 Ti. I'm going to pull up, here, give me a second here. Let's see if I can pull up this window for you. Give me 1 second. Hold on a second, guys. All right, there you go, guys. Look, there's my CPU at 73%, GPU 32%. It's not the GPU. X-Plane is a CPU-centric application. It uses a ridiculous amount of CPU, and it's using all 8 cores here, okay? Or I should say all 8 CPUs, okay? And it's using them efficiently, which is good. I'm not sure about, I mean, all the logical processors are being used. So that's a good thing. But it doesn't, because of the design, it doesn't take full advantage of your GPU. Well, yeah, I need to upgrade my CPU. It's a 1080, it's a i7 6700. I mean, well, that's what X-Plane uses. I don't have any choice over that. It's using what, 10 gig of the 11 gig, and that's ever since Vulkan, right? It's going to use as much as it can. The problem is that X-Plane uses more CPU than it does GPU. It does 32%, 34%. I mean, I got a 1080 Ti. It's not effectively using it. That's the issue. You know, LSS, it helps. It helps a little bit. It doesn't, you know, it helps a little bit. You know, I'm not, you know, paying the rent with it, but it helps a little bit. It's not a lot. Well, I can't overclock the CPU because it's a 1600. It's not a 16K or 6700. It's not a 16K, so you can't overclock it. I looked into buying a new CPU, which I can do for this board. I might do that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure. All right, so we need to get down here because we gotta land at Roanoke. So I'm going to, let's see, let's go down to 3,000. We're going to kind of scream down at 800 feet per minute, pop everybody's ears. Yeah, I'm not going to water cool. There's no reason to water cool it. I've got to find cooler on there. I never have any overheating problems at all. So with my system, I don't need a water cool. Even if I had a clocked, even if I had a faster CPU, I would not use water. I would just use a really high-end heat dissipation cooler, fan cooler. I'm not a big on water cooled. Yeah, sure. What are your specs, George? All right, we're going to get that mixture in. We're going to start slowing this plane down a little bit, though. Well, you have the 6700 as well. Yeah. So I'm not big on the AMD equivalents to NVIDIA. So what is that? What's the 5700 equivalent to? Okay, 2070. S, the Super, 2070 Super. That's what I was looking at, the 2080 Super. I bought a 1080 Ti for other games. I play other games, so my son uses my PC for other games. But it's overkill for X-Plane. Ryzen 9 3900. So that's a pretty nice system you got there. You should be okay for Microsoft FS 2020. All right, let's get a gander at the airport, which is right over there. Yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome GPU. We'll make this turn here at Knoll, and then we'll hand fly her in. Yeah, exactly. The 1080 Ti is good for VR. That's absolutely correct. You're right, 100%. And that's really the reason why, one of the main reasons why I bought it. It's a lot of money at the time. I had bought a 1070, and I wasn't happy with that, so I sold that and bought 1080 Ti. I had the 1070 for maybe like, a couple months or something. Well, that's a nice system. If you can afford it, George, I would recommend, not me, a lot of people are recommending that you run FS 2020 on an SSD. So you might want to get a 500 gig SSD just for that, or maybe a terabyte SSD just for that. Just making that trim perfect here. And we're going to get those flops in. Okay, we had a little bit of overspeed there. All right, I got to concentrate on the landing now, guys. All right, let's get the full flops. See that I'm down. I wasn't watching the airspeed, and I am down to close to stalling. Gotta be careful with that. With this plane. All right, get her down here. Throttle down. Flare it up. Come on, ease it down. Ease it down. Ease it down. Beautiful. The nice thing about the brakes is that it's, you know, easy to do maintenance on them because it's a virtual plane. I don't have to pay someone thousands of dollars to replace the brakes or repair the brakes. Decent landing, guys. Starting to get the handle of these steering with these brakes. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, where's the parking brake? Come on, parking brake. Parking brake on. Getting some nasty. Okay, mixture off. Throttle off. Boost off. And we're going to do... And let's turn that key off. Sorry guys, 1 second here. Alright, key is off. And we are good to go, guys. Assign a button to toggle what, dude? Oh, I see the trim. Okay. Well, listen, guys, that's going to about do it for me. I appreciate you guys watching. Oh, I didn't put the flaps up before I turned the engine off. Oh well. What can you do, guys? All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you like what you saw today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want to join the channel, it's $1.99. Obviously, there's no need to do that, but you'll get like different emojis and stuff in the chat if you want to do that. I'll be back soon. And like I said, I got that cross-country trip planned where I'm going to be flying from, to the my airport at Yucca. So looking forward to that too. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And you guys take care. Have a great day.